Hello, so in this video, I'm going to be helping you if you've got an online application and they've asked you to make a video for your recorded interview. It's different ways companies do it. They could either ask you via Skype to have an interview face to face, or even video to video if they're on the other end. They may ask you to make a pre-recorded clip and upload it to their website. They may give you a link to a location where you will click in the email, for example, and then it'll actually read a message to you and you have to answer it, and it records it and saves it instantly. So it depends which ones of those you've got. Read and a lot of the companies, online agencies, if you've got interviews through clients, they ask them to take care of that. But what we're going to do today is help you to get a good quality recorded interview, and I'm going to give you some tips. It can be quite difficult kind of talking to a camera and recording it. Luckily, I've made 250 odd videos on YouTube, so I've got a bit more comfortable than maybe someone who's making it for the first time. So the reasoning behind this is a lot more companies now are deciding to make sure people are good on camera and can speak, because mainly the banks and like office-based jobs will ask you to do this. And the reason for that is now, well, at the moment, more than ever now, really, it's all digital, isn't it? So people have laptops, they work from home, you want to be able to attend meetings, and a lot of companies now use things like Teams or Skype, where you actually have to have a good ability to speak to camera and be able to present to other clients or work colleagues. So that's the reasoning why they're probably doing that. And also it's down to reducing the amount of people they call into interviews so they can actually go through more clients. So in a way, it's an option to give you help basically to get yourself interviewed and get the job. So what I'll cover is a few points. I'm going to actually make a playlist of all of these points separately. So if you're interested in one of these, just go to that video. So for example, if you're interested just on how to use the camera on your laptop, how to set up the lighting, how to dress, how to speak confidently, should you use a webcam, should you use a phone. So all these kind of things are different scenarios, but I'll give you more information about them. But I'll start at the starting. So when they send you a link, they're going to be looking at competency based questions. So things like, tell me about a time you faced a challenging task and how you achieved that task against all odds. So that's like an example. So that'll be the question, then you'll have to answer it. So what you want to be able to do is have your camera in a position that it's looking you in the eye, if it were, so it's not too low, not too high. These are more of the starter points that I'll cover. If you're using a laptop, you can actually prop it up and have the laptop just so it's facing you directly. Things to consider is lighting. So try and wear bright clothes. You'll be surprised how much that helps. If you're wearing a dark shirt, then that kind of makes you look and appear darker if you're in a dark room. But this normally is quite dark, but because I'm wearing a lighter color shirt, the lights that I've got here are bouncing off that and lighting my face nicely so you can see me. You may not have lights, not a problem. You can actually record it in different locations. Just make sure you've got a nice background, so not too distracting. In the playlists of that, I'll give you examples of good and bad ones so you can see what I mean by good and bad. You want to be in a location where you got a microphone, so it's possible to plug in a microphone to your laptop, things like headphones for your phone, and use one earbud and the mic there, which will be a lot better. Because what main thing that kind of bugs recruiters is that you have like a bit of an echo and it's hard to make out what you're saying in an interview. Lighting wise, you can be near a window. If you're near a window, make sure it's on your left or your right or in front of you, so you're sitting in front of the window and it's illuminating you directly. You don't want the window to be behind you, because that will basically throw the camera off and it'll just go dark. It'll make you dark because it's compensating for that. Apart from that, speak clearly and try and speak as normal as possible. Here's a top tip for you. If you've got a friend that you're comfortable speaking to, have them sit behind the camera. So if you're on a laptop, have them sitting there, pretend as if you're talking to them, or you can even ask them to ask you questions and you look at the camera and answer them, because you'll be surprised how much of a flow change you'll have if you do record loads of them. So if you use your phone or your laptop, record loads of segments of yourself speaking and look back at them. But when you add someone else into the mix, like a friend who's actually physically there, you'll see the difference, how much energy you kind of change your energy, how you speak, because you know someone's there you're talking to. If you can't do that, what you can even do is use your phone. If you're using a laptop, use your phone, call a friend and have them ask you the question, and then while you're recording it, have them be silent, but you know there's someone there on the phone, so it makes you not feel stupid if that's the thing. Because I know when I was starting making first videos, it's awkward speaking to a camera, but if you know that it's someone actually there that you're speaking to on a loudspeaker, you'll speak as you would normally speak, which gets your personality across and your traits, which interviewers will be looking for. Bullet point down a few things that you want to cover, because when you're in the subject and you're flowing, you might not be covering everything. So that example I said about challenging tasks, I can use this as an example. I had a challenge to make a video. It was very difficult because I didn't have the correct lighting. What I did was I did some research online. I looked at different cameras. I looked at learning about lighting. I made sure that cameras were recording correctly, and I was able to get my point across. How I came across the challenge was increasing my knowledge by self-learning and getting that idea into my video. So that's like an answer towards that. So I'll give you the challenge, I'll give you my how I got about it. So think along those lines, have 3 bullet points, make sure you acknowledge the question, give your overview of the challenge, and then definitely give how you overcame the challenge, as in you achieved it. Backgrounds, you want plain backgrounds, lights I've covered. What you can do is I'm going to make a separate video to show you different recording software. So if you're on your laptop, how you can use something basic just to record the camera, nothing too fancy. And then once you've recorded it, saving it and the different file types. So I'm hoping this helps you for interview based questions. I'll link you to this playlist here, which will be all about just this topic. So all those videos in this playlist will be what you're looking for. So I'm hoping that helps you and gets you through this journey, and best of luck with your interview.